Of the World Economic Forum meetings held in Switzerland last week. Inequality was one of the themes, and Oxfam called for a commitment from the government and business leaders to stop tax dodging. But left-leaning South African commentator Terry Bell has written about the rich individuals and corporations who, in his view, meet in Davos every year and add to our unequal world. Let's discuss with one of the attendants now, Moses Kgosana, Chief Executive of KPMG South Africa. Great to have you with us, Moses. Have you thought, was it freezing cold?
Oh, it was freezing cold, and it was my first time, but I enjoyed it very much.
What was your experience as a first-time attendant? Was there a lot of talking, or do you get the sense that things could happen in Davos?
I got a sense that things could happen. There are lots of business leaders there, government, and they all have one thing in common: the economic growth of the globe. So I got a sense that they are all committed. Yes, people think there's talk shows around the corner, but I think there's lots of commitment.
Are the meetings on the side more important than the main talk shops?
I think a bit of both, but many people do lots of business and get mileage on the sidelines.
Okay, so you set up business meetings in advance with the people you know will be there. So there's always talk about Terry, about inequality. Terry Bell says Davos creates it. Just looking at what he's written, he says corporations go there to wine, dine, bribe and bully power brokers. So they're basically there to lobby for business-friendly policies, presumably not the taxes that we know will help to avoid the inequality that we're seeing. He says they put profit-driven interests above humanity. Your reaction to that sort of analysis after Davos?
Well, I mean, inequality was one of the major risks that actually has been identified together with terrorism, among others, conflict. My take of that is that inequality, it's there. And when it was created by the business leaders, I don't believe that that's entirely true. The important thing is that they've put it on the map, they're discussing it, they want to get rid of it so that everybody is equal, and therefore we could actually live together well.
So maybe the people who have caused inequality in the past, at least they're talking about it.
They're talking about it. It's on the table, it's on the agenda.
If we come to South Africa now, our president said that the delegation, well, Davos heard what we were saying, that South Africa has a good story to tell. Our trade minister said that the power crisis was overblown, and there was still lots to talk about in terms of manufacturing and things like that. Is that really a rose-tinted view? Because there must have been concerns about South Africa.
Definitely. Look, personally, I was very impressed with Team South Africa leadership, both government and the business South Africa who were there leading South Africa. I think it was very balanced. They did not shy away from the problems of Excom and labor, etc. But on the other hand, they put South Africa on the map to say South Africa is open for business. Please come and invest and grow.
If you go there as a business delegate, do people ask you about things like the power crunch? The strike action. Yes. What do they bring up? Just tell me about the topics.
People will ask about what they see on television, on newspapers. They'll bring Oscar Pistorius' case. They'll bring Friend Diwali, all these people. But the important thing is, as South African business leaders, is what is the message that we're giving the world out there. And my belief is that we need to give a balanced, positive message, but not shying away from the problems that we have at home.
Do you get a sense that government and business were presenting a united front, which we say often we do not do?
I got a sense that government and business from Team South Africa were united in their message, and I can say business out there is ready to assist government in solving the problem of the country. And if government can just listen and give them a go ahead. Was
this a great opportunity for business to tell that to government?
I think there have been various forums where that was discussed, especially outside the meeting areas. I certainly believe that.
One of the investment opportunities is infrastructure. Jacob Zuma did acknowledge that there's a huge dearth in Africa. We know it's affecting intra-African trade. Are other nations interested in the possibility of these huge networks just growing across Africa if we get our act together?
I think there certainly are interest and infrastructure. By no means, no doubt, it is the engine that will help us to grow. And South Africa has done well in infrastructure, but we still have a long way to cover what NDP want us to do.
Before we end, your takeout from Davos.
I was excited. It was a tiny Switzerland area town, but I think an important business forum where problems of the world can be discussed.
Thank you so much for joining us. That was the CEO of KPMG South Africa, Moses Kgosana.